Hello, my name is Zach Warren, and this is my presentation for WDD 230 Web Frontend Development 1 on Search Engine Optimization. So let's get right into it. What is search engine optimization? Search engine optimization is the practice of increasing quality and quantity of website traffic. It's every website's goal to get as much traffic as possible from online users. It's kind of similar to marketing. Marketing's goal is to get as many customers to buy products from them as possible. In this case, the product that we are trying to sell is our website, and the customer are the online users of search engines. Now, in order to do this, you must understand what users are looking for, what questions they want answered, what words they use, and what content they are interested in. By being able to connect with people and their wants, you will have more traffic on your websites. So what are search engines? Everyone uses search engines. Some common search engines are Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Search engines are what link our websites to the users searching for our content. They discover and index any available content on the internet through a process known as crawling and indexing, and organize the results based on its closeness to the user's search through a process known as ranking. The results that we see are known as search engine result pages or SERPs. Now, the most effective type of search engine results and the most common that we all see are known as organic search engine result pages. Organic search engine result pages, as I said, are a more effective tool at gaining online traffic than any other method. I'm sure most of us who have used search engines see that at the top of the search engine usually are paid advertisements when we search for something. However, you will be surprised to know that only 2.8% of online users actually click on those paid advertisements. And what makes paid advertisements even more ineffective to a company or website is the fact that you constantly have to pay for them. Now, also over the years, search engine results have advanced as the internet has progressed. It's common now to see boxes with the desired information at the top of the screen with a various list of similar questions below. For example, if you search in Google now a question, you will see an answer to your question in a text box, and then similar questions below that which you can look on your own to find. All of these are examples of organic search engine results that have been ranked by Google as the most relevant to your search query. So by optimizing your website, you can help search engines find your information quicker and rank your website higher on the search results. In other words, if you optimize your website, search engines can one day put your website's answers and information and content at the top of the list. A good example of this can be seen when we go on Google. If I were to type in sports shoes, we will see that the first thing that pops up are ads. As we saw that I was talking about, only 2.8% of users will actually click on these ads. And just below it, we see our first set of organic search engine results in the box format that I was talking about. Here we see a map with shops close to me that sell sports shoes. And then below that, we see links to those local sports shoes that are close to where I live, such as Big Five, BYU Idaho Outdoor Resource Center, and Rockman. Then below it, we get our first organic web pages, which are Nike.com and Eastbay. This would be a good time to talk about crawling, indexing, and ranking, which tell us why these first results are what they are. Crawling and indexing begins when a search engine sends out robots to find new and updated content on the internet. The robots will start with some web pages and then access the links within those web pages to find new URLs. That new content is then stored into an index that will be retrieved when a user is searching for similar content. That leads us into ranking. Once a search is performed by a user, the search engine looks through the index and finds content that is very similar to what the user is searching for. The results are then ordered in a way that attempts to answer the user's query. My query was sports shoes, so the first couple results were what Google deemed as most relevant to my query for sports shoes. So now the question remains, how do we get our own websites to be optimized by search engines? How do we get our websites to eventually be at the top, like we see here with Nike.com and Eastbay? Well, obviously the first thing we need is a website. For this, I created an almost exact replica of the website we've been working on all semester. The only thing I changed were the numbers from ZachWarren05 to ZachWarren32. Then we want to go to a site called Google Search Console. This is what Google uses to crawl and index new websites. We will want to add a property, and in the URL prefix section, we will want to add our new website that we want indexed and crawled. Make sure to include the HTTPS, the entire URL. Now, once you do that, I have already added this property, but when you do it, there will be several options. The first of which is to download a Google file, and the next of which is a meta tag to add to your website. Now I included both to show you what that looks like. As you can see here, I added this meta tag, which just includes Google site verification and the content, which allows Google to crawl and index my entire repository. The other option is to use the downloaded Google HTML file and include it in your repository. And here we can see it just includes Google site verification and then a unique HTML, which allows the bots to find this website and crawl and index it. Once we have done these things, the last two steps are to copy our website URL again exactly as we have it and inspect it by putting it in this search bar. I'm in the wrong one. Hold on. All right. So it's going to retrieve the data, and then it's going to allow us to request indexing. So we'll want to click on that. And first it's going to test if the live URL can be indexed, meaning if the URL is active and has no errors and is able to be indexed. Once it does that, it will then submit our request. Here we can see, after it's been submitted, two things: coverage and mobile usability. Now here we can see that this page is in fact mobile friendly, which should be the case since we have spent many weeks making sure that our website can be viewed in either small, medium, or large views. And we can also look at the coverage. So here we see an information of what occurred when we submitted the index request. We can see that my website was crawled on March 8th at 5:47 p.m. It was crawled with a Googlebot smartphone. The crawl was allowed, the page fetch was successful, and indexing was allowed. So it was able to be indexed onto the Google search engine. And now that it's been about a day, my URL is actually on the Google search engine. So if I were to search up my website, we can see now that it will appear on Google search engine. Now obviously this wouldn't be the first result if I didn't type it in exactly as I had, but we can see that it is actually on the Google search engine and for other people to find. And we can actually access my other links within my website, all through the Google search engine. Now, the last thing we can do is we can try to increase our rank so that more people will see our website, hence improving our website traffic. In order to do this, we can create a file known as a sitemap. What a sitemap does is we include with it our most important website URLs in a file that can be read by the Google Search Console. For example, I included some of my HTML pages in my repository. Once you've created this sitemap, you want to go back into your console, go into Sitemaps, and then add it right here as a new sitemap. Sitemaps further allow Google bots and other robots to crawl through the list of URL links that you give them and index them. And with more websites indexed, you have a higher probability of being higher on the ranking for Google search and other such search engines. This has been my presentation on search engine optimization. Thank you for your time.